For fans of Middle-earth, the Tolkien calendar isn't just a calendar. It's an art exhibition, and next year's calendar is no exception. Today I'd like to take a look and show you the beautiful art of Ted Nasmith. Each month's piece is complemented by passages from the Silmarillion, which I'll read as I flip through. So to start off here, we have this beautiful cover, which is Turin and the dwarves, or actually let's just meme the dwarf, looking out towards the hill of Amon-Rûdh. And let's see, here we have an introduction by Brian Sibley. Yeah, painting scenes west of the mountains, east of the sea. I'm not going to read all of that. It'll take a little bit. So first, for January, we have the Lamps of the Valar. Or should I say, sorry, the Lamp of the Valar. Then Varda filled the lamps, and Manwë hallowed them. And the Valar set them upon high pillars, more lofty far than are any mountains of the later days. One lamp they raised near to the north of Middle-earth, and it was named Illuin, and the other was raised in the south, and it was named Ormal, and the light of the lamps of the Valar flowed out over the earth, so that all was lit, as it were, in a changeless day. So that's January. It's a very majestic one. And for February we have Aule prepares to destroy his children. Then Aule took up a great hammer to smite the dwarves, and he wept. But Ilúvatar had compassion upon Aule and his desire, because of his humility, and the dwarves shrank from the hammer and were afraid. And they bowed down their heads and begged for mercy. And the voice of Ilúvatar said to Aule, Thy offer I accepted even as it was made. Dost thou not see that these things now have a life of their own, and speak with their own voices? Else they would not have flinched from thy blow, nor from any command of thy will. And for March we have the kinslaying at Alqualondë. When he judged that his strength was enough, he went to the haven of the swans, and began to man the ships that were anchored there, and to take them away by force. But the Teleri withstood him, and cast many of the Noldor into the sea. Then swords were drawn, and a bitter fight was fought upon the ships, and about the lamplit quays and piers of the haven, and even upon the great arch of its gate. I particularly love the lighting in this scene. It's very cool. I'm trying to keep the glare off so you can see it better. April, Lake Hellevorn. There Mount Rarier, and about it many lesser heights, stood out from the range of arid Linden westward, and in the angle between Rarier and arid Linden there was a lake, shadowed by mountains on all sides save the south. That was Lake Hellevorn, deep and dark. May. Eöl welcomes Eredhel. And it came to pass that Eöl saw Eredhel Arthaniel as she strayed among the tall trees near the borders of Nan Elmoth, a gleam of white in the dim land. Very fair she seemed to him, and he desired her, and he set his enchantments about her so that she could not find the ways out, but drew ever nearer to his dwelling in the depths of the wood. Yeah, this guy was a creep. And his son was a creep too, yeah. June. Torgon at Fingolfin's cairn. And he laid him upon the mountain top that looked from the north upon the hidden valley of Gondolin, and Torgon coming built a high cairn over his father. No orc dared ever after to pass over the mount of Fingolfin or draw nigh his tomb, until the doom of Gondolin was come, and treachery was born among his kin. Any illustration by Ted Nasmith that has Gondolin in the background is always very cool. I always love these particular kinds of illustrations. July. Luthien at Tol Galen. Then Beren and Luthien went forth alone, fearing neither thirst nor hunger, and they passed beyond the river Gelion into Ossiriand, and dwelt there in Tol Galen the Green Isle, in the midst of Adarant, until all tidings of them ceased. The Eldar afterwards called that country Dor Fin y Gwynar, the land of the dead that live, and there was born Dair Aranel the Beautiful, who was after known as Dair Elukil, which is Thingol's heir. No mortal man spoke ever again with Beren son of Barahir, and none saw Beren or Luthien leave the world, or marked where at last their bodies lay. August. Turin bears Gwyndor to safety. On that day all the pride and host of Nargothrond withered away, and Orodreth was slain in the forefront of the battle, and Gwyndor son of Gulin was wounded to the death. But Turin came to his aid, and all fled before him, and he bore Gwyndor out of the rout, and escaping into a wood there laid him on the grass. And there he's wearing the dwarf mask to intimidate his enemies, I think. September. Glorfindel's Bane. Along that narrow way their march was strung, when they were ambushed by orcs, for Morgoth had set watchers all about the encircling hills, and a Balrog was with them. Then dreadful was their plight, and already would they have been saved by the valor of yellow-haired Glorfindel, chief of the House of the Golden Flower of Gondolin, had not Thorondor come timely to their aid. And of course there's one of the infamous Balrogs. Very scary. You can see Gondolin burning, the city burning in the background. October. White ships from Valinor. But the wise among them knew that this distant land was not indeed the blessed realm of Valinor, but it was Avalone, the haven of the Eldar upon Eressëa, easternmost of the Undying Lands. And thence at times the firstborn still would come sailing to Númenor in oarless boats, as white birds flying from the sunset. November. The ships of the faithful. 9 ships there were, 4 for Elendil, and for Isildur 3, and for Anarion 2, and they fled before the black gale out of the twilight of doom into the darkness of the world. And the deeps rose beneath them in towering anger, and waves like unto mountains moving with great caps of writhen snow bore them up amid the wreckage of the clouds, and after many days cast them away upon the shores of Middle-earth. This is the downfall of Númenor. I believe that's Sauron's temple. I think. Anyway, very epic. December. Anúminas. Elendil was cast up by the waves in the land of Lindon, and he was befriended by Gil-galad. Thence he passed up the river Lune, and beyond Ered Luin he established his realm, and his people dwelt in many places in Eriador about the courses of the Lune and the Baranduin. But his chief city was at Anúminas, beside the water of Lake Nenuil. This is a place that we never see in any of the movies, and it's not featured much, but it looks cool. City on the edge of a lake. Ted Nasmith, 2019. So this is one of the more recent ones. My only major complaint about this calendar is that while all the art in it is great, it's kind of, it seems like a bit of a little bit maybe of a lazy effort on the part of the publisher, because most of it has been around for like 30 plus years, but some of it, only like, I think maybe like 5 of them are new, but it's all great, it's all good. And then of course here we have 2023, which is getting a little too far into the future, but yeah, that's just the cover. So yeah, I think that about does it. And then there's one more little illustration in the back here. That's cool. Tolkien, Nasmith, Sibley. So I think that just about does it. Thank you for dropping by and watching this. And I will drop, I might have already said at the beginning, but I will put a link in the description below if you want to go pick this up. If you do want to, you might want to do it soon because they sell out really fast. I actually decided to pre-order it this year. But that's about it. I think I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.